Mr. Pasha Oganov. I'm going to be dedicating this video to you on how to remove a spark plug. So this is a coil pack right here. I could unplug it if I want to, or I could leave it plugged in, but I unplugged it. And these are 8mm bolts. This is a Ford vehicle. I remove this nut here, bolt here. Nice and simple. Pull it out, put it aside, and pull my coil pack out. As you can see, I might have a little bit of oil on the coil pack. A little bit, not too much. Everything looks dry down in the cylinder actually. Then, I have here my extension, a fairly long one. This is probably a 12-inch extension, but you're gonna need, even a 6 is gonna be kind of small. I'd say an 8. Put it on loosen. And there it goes, it should come out. So I keep finishing it off with my hand. And as you can see, the plug came right out because there's a rubber insert in this socket. And that rubber insert allows you to catch the plug. It gets caught. It's a special 5/8" spark plug socket. Plug isn't too hot, I can hold it. And we can see here, they put some grease on it, some specialty grease or something on the top. We'll leave it on there. Motorcraft Japan, eh? Motorcraft is Ford's brand. This one's made in Japan. It's probably an NGK. Looks a little bit worn on the tip, but there's no evidence of oil on here really. If you look at it, the tip's dry. The shaft going up to here, it seems dry. There's no oil on the top. This looks like blackness here. I know it's not oil because there's no oil up here. For there to be oil here, it would have had to drip down the plug onto the threads. That's why I know this one's dry. I don't have a valve cover leak gasket in this area that could be causing problems. And the engine runs smoothly. And again, there's the black rubber inside of the spark plug socket. Special socket that can grab the plugs. When I install it, I'll put it in and I'm gonna start it off by hand. But yeah, the plug itself does look a bit worn. If I look at the tip, it does look a bit worn. I will say that. The tip of the plug does look a bit worn. I would change this plug. Not today, but at some point, yeah, I'll be down to change it. It's probably the original plugs. Probably have like 80,000 miles on it or some pretty big number. Don't know how much they have. They came with the engine. This is a used junkyard engine. So yeah, I drop them in. I start it off by hand. Normally the torque spec for these plugs is probably around 15 foot-pounds. I don't like to actually hit them with a torque wrench because not everyone has one. But what I do, I dip it in there, get as far as I can by hand, then just using the head of the ratchet, I give it as much torque as I can just with the head. I'm just holding it by the head, not out here. Out here you can give like 40 foot-pounds and you'll fuck up your head. You'll ruin the threads. Cylinder head is a single casting, a big ass piece of aluminum that houses a lot of components, and you don't want to ruin the threads because it's like the spark plug, that's like one of the most important threads. But like I say, just holding the head of the ratchet like this and just giving it as tight as I can with just that should be about 15 foot-pounds. It should be tight enough. And again, they give it some good electrolytic grease down in this coil. This is my coil pack. And then if I were to diagnose a misfire, I could move the coil pack over to like that cylinder back there. But that one's inconvenient on this engine because it's under the intake manifold. I'll put it out here. I'll swap these two and I'll say, hey, let's see if the misfire migrated. A random misfire generally means misfires on multiple cylinders. So it could be a whole bank having misfires. It could be the other one. So generally speaking, A misfire diagnosis of random misfire may not be caught by migrating a coil, but it could still be coil packs. Coil packs, they're not that cheap. They're probably like $70 for the whole set, new. This one again, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it, just probably using just the head of the ratchet. It's probably like, again, probably like torque spec like 10 foot-pounds. Should be tight enough. Make sure it clicks. If it doesn't click, you'll get misfires. I had a misfire on this car because one of the coil packs was loose. And that's all. That's how you, the cheapo way to check your spark plugs. No torque wrench needed.